Hi, Ryan here. Thanks so much for ordering the tabs. I really appreciate it. The song was great. I had a really good time jamming to it. It's really a fun bass line. So this is the video explanation or commentary on the tabs. What I've done is I've sent you a PDF file and a Guitar Pro file. If you need it in any other format, just let me know, or perhaps a different Guitar Pro version. But other than that, the PDF will suffice. So, only a few things to go over. The first is that you'll notice that the guitar tabs contain a lot of dead notes and staccato notes. So a dead note is signified by an X in the tabs. The first one appears, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like bar 7 on the. So a dead note is just, you're just playing the string without fretting the actual note. Instead of fretting the 4th fret, you're kind of holding the 4th and just playing notes. It's just a dead note, and that's added for groove as like a passing note sometimes. So your call whether or not you want to play them as dead notes or actually add in a real note there. I think that a lot of the times bassists will do that. They'll add in dead notes just to pass through the notes and to get a nice groove going, like a percussive element. For the record, I'm not a bass player. I play the guitar, but I know a little bit about it, so I think that's what's going on. So you'll notice a lot of dead notes, and you'll also notice a lot of staccato notes. For example, in 1, 2, 3, the third measure in, there's some. So a staccato note is signified with a dot over it. I don't know if you're familiar with your theory or not. And what it is a note that's played, but it's cut off immediately as it's played, so it's just a quicker note. And again, that's done to emphasize the groove and maybe to, I guess mix things up with the notes. If you have Guitar Pro and you play the file back, the dead notes and the staccato notes will sound pretty good. They sound really nice and they complement the groove very well. If you're just reading it, you kind of have to feel it out yourself. So that's why those are in there. I think it sounds a lot better adding those. It gives a little bit of a flourish to the playing, to the bass line. So there's a lot of those. For the most part, it's a simple progression. There's a lot of fills. I mean, the opening lick is a fill. And then you have this. These are some really cool fills that are going on. They're all correct. I tabbed them out pretty well. Now, something to take note of. This is a big deal. A few measures down and throughout the entire tablature you'll see the words "See video" with asterisks around them above certain bars. I wanted to bring up a point, and that is that this song is played on a 5-string bass. I can tell when I hear the recording that he or she is reaching notes that are lower than a traditional standard tuned 4-string bass guitar. So it's either a 5 or a 6-string bass, and it's an extended range instrument. And I can tell from the recording that he's going lower, she's going lower. So that doesn't mean it's unplayable. I don't know if you have a 4 or a 5 or a 6, but it is playable on a 4. And so what I've done is I've tabbed it out to be played on a 4. So certain fills, like for example, hold on 1 second. Certain fills are going to utilize the 5th string, the lower string, and I don't have one. I could figure it out. If you end up having a 5-string bass and you would like to know what they are, let me know and I'll redo those certain parts to incorporate that. But the first one appears on bar 14. So that's what I've written out, is that. And what's really going on is sort of an octave dissension. And then there'll be a lower octave of this G sharp here. So instead, I've tabbed out something comparable. It's not note from note exactly the same because we can't reach the lower notes, but it's going to sound fine. It's just something to take note of. When you listen to the song, you can tell that they're descending lower than a 4-string. So what I've done is just written an alternate. And this happens 5 or 6 times throughout the whole thing. So every time it says "see video," just keep in mind that that particular measure or that collection of notes is played with the use of a lower string. And the parts that I've written they're kind of just adjusted to fit what a 4-string bass can do. And they're not note for note, but they're very similar, and they'll sound just fine playing along or playing with a band or whatever you're doing. So that's that. There's a lot of those. Instead of using, the tabs are kind of long. It's one long page. I didn't use a lot of repeats or codas or anything like that, just because I didn't want to make it too confusing, especially if you're not playing it back through the software, if you're just looking at it. So it's written very linearly, and the only repeats that are in here are the chorus, which is great. It was really fun. Again, that part there, during the chorus, that's played with a lower E and then again down to the 5th lower string. But this will do. It's the exact same note, just an octave up. There's a few more of those that happen. A few more repeats. The chorus repeats 4 times. The post-chorus. Okay, so there's 3 choruses in the song. The first one repeats 4 times. The second one repeats 4 times. And then there's a post-chorus, which happens twice, and then we go into the bridge. The post-chorus is very, very close to the chorus, but I didn't just throw in another repeat sign. I actually wrote it out again and repeated that twice. This is bar 57 through 60. And the only difference between the post-chorus and the chorus is that instead of playing this, that little hammer-on lick, what I've done is just done a dead note and a regular 2nd fret here. And again, these are just subtleties. I have a feeling that even the bassist didn't write set parts. It's just kind of like a groove, and they're improvising at times and just doing bass fills. But this is what I heard on the album track that you sent me, and I think honestly you should take it upon yourself to throw your own fills in there. It's a pretty open bass line. It's got a lot of room for interpretation. So then we come to the bridge, which is very interesting. This is kind of a lot of times when I do transcriptions, what I'll do is I'll listen to the song and do it myself, but then once in a while I'll check to see if there's a cover of it or a playthrough by the artist and see what they're doing, and that helps a lot too. I didn't see any playthroughs from Kimbra on the bass. What I did see was a lot of YouTube covers, and particularly one by this chick. Her username is Maddie J Music. She's a great bass player, and she plays the song excellently with like a lot of groove, a lot of funk. She's really talented with the right hand. She doesn't play the notes correctly, not all of them. She misses a few here and there, which is fine. It still comes out fine. But at this part, I kind of took a page off of her book. She goes up to this bridge and she plays chords above the 12th fret. And I like that. I think she's right. I think that's what's going on as well. So between me hearing it myself and watching her, I decided to come up with this sort of bridge piece, and what it sounds like is a few bass chords, a few licks. It's just it's interesting. And then you're going to see another C video comment where they go this is right before the final chorus. That's sort of the outro to the bridge. That's another part. This whole these first 3, they're played on the lower 5th string, so there's an octave discrepancy there again. But as I said, every time the C video comment appears, what I've written is going to sound 99% the same. It's just an octave or something that's different, so that's fine. Then we go to the final chorus 4 times, and then the outro lick, which is very simple, but it's very cool, very catchy. And at this part, they actually are, for once, playing them right here. instead of doing the, the lower octave on the lower strings. And then I've written at bar 80, right before the end of the song, there's a slide. I wrote fret slide, and what that means is he's just going. They're just doing a slide, a flourish or whatever. It's written as 0, slide 12, slide 0, but that's just for notation's sake. It doesn't actually literally mean the notes 0. It's just like on the piano when you're running across the keys or whatever. And then you have the outro, which is just. And again, these last 3 notes played up here, they would be played on a lower key, but that's really what it is. So that's pretty much it. What I can do, if you like, is kind of film a playthrough. I can attempt to play the song on the bass, even though I'm not a very good bass player, and this is not really my instrument of focus. But I can give it a try if that would help you figure out certain parts here or there. Other than that, I think you'll be okay. Everything's written out pretty well, and there's just a few licks here and there. There's some really trippy ones where I've added a lot of dead notes, a lot of 16th note runs. It might get confusing, especially if you don't have Guitar Pro to play it for you. But, I mean, give it a try, and again, ask if you have any questions about this stuff. This is. There's like a quick double. I'm looking at bar 42, 41 and 42. So yeah, there's a lot of really weird stuff written. If something doesn't make sense to you, or you're not quite sure how it's played, definitely say something, shoot me a message. Don't think that just because the order is completed that I'm done dealing with you, because that's stupid. I'm always willing to help out. I'll send over another video for free, playthrough, whatever you want. So let me know if there's anything else I can do for you, anything I can help concerning this song or other songs. Shoot me a message. Let me know what's troubling you, and hopefully this helped. Hopefully this was a little bit of an insight into the tablature and of the song. And again, if not, let me know, and I'll send over whatever you need. So that's about it. Thanks a lot for the order. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you again soon.